This is a new video about the only BYD F3DM car in Holland. I'll show you something about the features of this car. Here we have a charging line. We can put directly 220 volt, 50 hertz, like what we have here in Holland, on the car. We open the trunk. We see the normal 12 volt battery. We see the battery management system, the BMS, the charger, and we see a high voltage switch for service purposes when the car is being maintained in the garage. With this one we interrupt the 330 volt, the 100 LiFePO 4 cells in series, which are in the bottom of the car. Look in the inside of the car. When you see now the battery is charging and it is being displayed on the main display, you see the fuel pump and what's the charger and the state of charge of the battery. The battery is at the moment 74%. Yeah, no, it's okay. Now I switch him on. Now I will give. You see the computer starts on. You hear all kinds of servo motors running during start. It is like an aeroplane. We have an engine failure there, engine malfunctioning, and you see it now down. Here you see the whole management of the car. The car has two electric motors. One can become a generator to charge the battery. The red one in the middle, that is the fuel engine, the 1000 cc 3-cylinder engine that can come on the drivetrain. Here we see the drivetrain of the car. And here is the LiFePO battery, the green cell. And there we see also the solar panel. Normally we see the charging here. When this sign of motor malfunctioning sign is gone, we see here the charging. It charges the 12 volt battery. It is a standard panel in the roof of this car. This car also has a CVT, a constant variable transmission. And it is an auto. There is also a switch. EV. When EV is pressed, he will. When the battery is higher than 30% state of charge, you will run only on electric power. HEV, you can add the fuel engine to the powertrain. Here we have the parking, reverse, neutral and drive automatic. The 3-cylinder engine, 1000 cc engine. Here we see the VFD, the variable frequency drive of the electric motor. And here we see the VFD of the compressor motor. Of course this car has heating. When you drive in electric mode, yeah, you need you can't take any power from this engine, so it has to need a separate drive system. And that is this compressor system. And also for the heating, there's an electric heating inside. You can see that also on the display. When you now it's very cold. When you open the heater takes like 3 kilowatt. And the motor, if you drive 60, you can drive with this motor around 6 kilowatt. So 3 kilowatt is already 50% of the power you need to drive the car. So the heating is quite a lot of energy. When we bought this car should not have any problems. That's what's being told to us by the seller. But when and we thought also there was no problem, because in electric mode, when the battery is full, it drives like crazy. It drives really good, this car, in full electric mode. But when the battery became lower than 30% state of charge, the fuel engine started but stopped immediately again. And BYD Rotterdam looked at it, they couldn't find the problem, and we got 3 failures. 2 oxygen sensors, this is one of them, and an injector sensor. So what I did, and there was also a relay switching in the main dashboard on its own frequency. What I did, I looked at the power to the oxygen sensor, to the heater. It's a heater, it's a 4-wire sensor, 2 are for heating, 2 are for sensing. And I didn't measure the 12 volt here, the battery voltage. I measured 2.5 volt. Okay, here underneath, I felt the relay, what was switching on its own frequency. What I did, I took another 12 volt relay, I extended the wires, and I put a few AMP connectors, and I managed to put them into the socket. Now I had that switching relay on a distance, and I could measure something. I measured 14 volt on the coil, which is good, but I measured on the contact, which is switching. I measured also the 2.5 volt, which I measured at the oxygen sensor. What I did, then I applied 12 volt, the battery voltage, to the contact where I measured 2.5 volt. And I put it in the cigarette lighter, which is now here, which is having a wire. And then the engine was running. Suddenly it was running. So now the problem is solved by means of a bypass. It's not the real solve, but the engine is running now. So this is what we did. And for the rest, to go further in this car, I need the wiring diagram from BYD Shenzhen.
Yeah, it's busy. Okay, we're driving with our BYD full electric car at the moment.
Yeah.
And we're going to the highway to check to see if it's also can drive through the expressway.
Dus 4 medailles nu al op de eerste dag waarop we medailles kunnen pakken en dan iets leuks nog. Kijk even naar de medaillespiegel.
Yeah, this is my electric guy. He picks the car by himself.
No, it's not completely fixed. It's like a plaster. It works, but it's not the way. Look, here we put the plus from the socket, from the cigarette lighter. We brought it to the relay to inject 12 volt on a part where the 12 volt was missing. Yeah, there was, and that's why the engine couldn't run, because that is the AV supply. AV stands for electronic fuel injection. So that one wasn't getting the proper voltage. So it ran only a few seconds and then it shut down again. We managed to make that run, but of course we need the electric drawing, and to make it on the original way, we have to find where the supply is interrupted. That's probably another relay.
Yeah.
What is not giving through the voltage, but I don't have. Yeah, this car is quite complicated and so many hidden parts, so you don't know where that is. Where you have to look for it.
We need
That's
to
why
ask.
we did it like this.
We need to ask for the BYD
Wiring diagram of this
wiring
car.
diagram. Yeah. So I hope the BYD will help
You
us.
can see now that we drive around 60 kilometers, and the car is using 7 kilowatt. 7 kilowatt is being used. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I accelerate, it goes up to
23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I brake, it becomes minus. That means when I release the throttle, it becomes minus. That is the kinetic energy from the car is being used to charge the battery. So the electric motor, what is normally driving the wheels, the car, becomes a generator. Look, now again we get minus 6 kilowatt. So don't push, and even if you push a little bit the first part of the braking pad, the braking paddle, it increases also the regenerative power. Yeah, you hear the motors?
The motors kicks in.
Yeah, it's like a plane.
Yeah, it's
With the
automatic.
flaps, with the flaps.
It was cool. Yeah.
The battery is 80%.
Amsterdam.
But the problem is that
Van experts die daarvoor grof geld zouden
when I have chosen HEV,
4 mei wordt vanaf nu dus
the
HAB is stand for?
fuel motor assisted
Okay.
during the whole discharge of the battery.
Uh-huh.
If you choose EV, it means that when the battery is at 30% state of charge, this one will will automatically go to HEV, and the fuel engine will assist.
Yeah.
But now we choose this one,
We choose
but
HAB.
there is no assistance. The only assistance, it's the only what is working now actually is EV.
Okay.
And I tried already, but I had it one time working. One time I switched this one, and there's also something with a contact.
Maybe some wire inside is
Power
broken.
module.
Yeah.
There is something that, well, now I go to EV,
Nah.
yeah. And now I go to
HAB.
HEV, but it should start now, but it doesn't.
Uh-huh.
We are driving now fully electric.
Okay.
And this car actually, no, it's very quiet,
Drives
and
good.
it drives very, very good. It's powerful.
Because it has how many ampere battery inside?
It has an 330 volt, 50 or 60 amp hour battery.
Yeah.
But with the cold,
Heavy one.
with the cold season, what we have now, the winter,
Yeah.
the lithium iron phosphate 4 battery contains less power.
Okay.
I heard that also from people who had a Tesla, that they said in the winter time it's like 10 to 15% less axiradius on the battery. While the battery is fully charged, the axiradius is reduced because of the battery temperature. It contains less energy. It's also a little bit the same with lead acid. It's the same. The warmer the battery, the
The
worse
load,
for the
yeah.
lifetime of the battery,
Yeah.
but the more it contains on energy. The battery has now dropped on a state of charge lower than 30%. And we can see now that the petrol engine has started. You can see it on the left side, the motor RPM. It's a little bit sun here.